Okay, Mr. Skeptical Human, if it's not Atlantean technology or underwater UFO bases, then what could explain the disappearances in the Bermuda Triangle? Any number of things, actually. It's a mistake to think that there should be one uniform explanation that applies to every single plane and boat disappearance. In some cases, maybe the plane just got lost and they ran out of fuel. Maybe stormy weather conditions caused the ship to sink. Maybe the pilot was drunk, fell asleep at the cockpit, and simply plummeted into the water. Why invoke the fantastic when the ordinary will suffice? While ideally we would want to evaluate the Bermuda Triangle disappearances on a case-by-case basis, there have been proposed some general causes that would apply to many disappearances. For example, weather conditions unique to that area could play a role. As Mindy Weisberger writes on LiveScience.com, quote, tropical storms and hurricanes are common in this region of the Atlantic, which could account for many of the reported disappearances that have happened over the years in the Bermuda Triangle, end quote. The Gulf Stream current in that area could also be responsible for sending ships off course, perhaps into more dangerous waters or weather conditions that they didn't anticipate encountering. Not only that, but this current and the regional topography could also aid in dispersing or hiding much of the debris from plane or boat losses, thus partly explaining what are described as the creepy disappearances within this region. As we read on VolvoOceanRace.com, quote, some of the deepest trenches in the world are found in the area of the Bermuda Triangle. Ships or planes that sink into these deep trenches will probably never be found. The Gulf Stream, where the triangle is located, is extremely swift and turbulent. It's been reported to move faster than 5 knots in some areas, more than fast enough to throw sailors hundreds of miles off course if they don't compensate correctly for the current. It can also quickly erase any evidence of a disaster, end quote. Add to this Gulf Stream current the fact that compass readings in this region might fluctuate due to high magnetite concentrations, and you have a recipe for serious navigational confusion, especially for inexperienced sailors. We learn the following in a Science Channel episode of Mysteries of the Missing.
Magnetite is the most magnetic naturally occurring substance on Earth. There is about 500 billion tons around Bermuda. So it's not inconceivable to think that that much magnetite could affect the compasses of ships and possibly even airplanes that are traveling through or near Bermuda.
Another possible explanation for some of the disappearances is the release of natural gas hydrates. As H.J. Gruey writes in Petroleum Engineer International, quote, natural gas hydrates occur on the ocean floor in such great volumes that they contain twice as much carbon as all known coal, oil, and conventional natural gas deposits. Releases of this gas caused by sediment slides and other natural causes have resulted in huge slugs of gas-saturated water with density too low to float a ship, and enough localized atmospheric contamination to choke air-aspirated aircraft engines, end quote. So as we can see, there are several plausible non-paranormal explanations for the loss of airplanes and ships within the Bermuda Triangle. Another important point about the triangle is that there's a lot of traffic in this particular region, so it shouldn't come as a surprise if we discovered a large number of plane or boat losses in this area. This could just be the result of basic statistics. Just as if there were more people driving on the roads in a particular city, there would be more opportunities for people to crash into each other, and thus we would see a higher rate of car crashes. As Michael Shermer points out in Why People Believe Weird Things, quote, far more shipping lanes run through the Bermuda Triangle than its surrounding areas, so accidents and mishaps and disappearances are more likely to happen in the area. As it turns out, the accident rate is actually lower in the Bermuda Triangle than in surrounding areas, end quote. As further evidence of this latter point, we read on Rational Wiki that, quote, insurance rates for shipping and travel within the Bermuda Triangle are no higher than anywhere else, end quote. I'm on Patreon. There's a link in the description if you'd like to support my content. I would really appreciate it. There's also social media links in there if you want to follow me there. I'm trying to build up some of those followings. I would really appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe for more videos if you haven't already. Hit the bell, hit the like button, post a fucking comments. All that fun stuff that's standard on YouTube. You know the fucking drill. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this.